Hockey knife nerds and everyday carry people. It's your boy the Big Canucker here, and we've got a couple more items that are heading into the go bag, and yeah, we can kind of talk about these things. And it is the Big Canucker says, "Let there be light, and fire, and magnesium, and warmth, and safety, and just an overall general sense of well-being that fire gives you when you're in an emergency situation." And although this go bag is not going to be for 100% emergency situations that I'm going to have my whole life depend on it, you never know what can happen, and having things around you that will make your life better or safer or happier or solve a problem, you know, you just can't go wrong with that. And this is what I have here. And although I am going to be putting this in my go bag for the time being, this is not going to be the one I think that is going to be the most practical one to go inside my go bag. And that's just basically based on the size of this magnesium. And all this was here was just I do believe it was just a no-name Amazon special that I took a flyer on, and it wasn't very expensive. I think it was, $12 or $15, and with that I got a piece of Ferrocerium rod, and I got some magnesium. It comes with a nice little kind of wooden handle, as well as a tiny little ruler, a scraper, a bottle cap opener, and an igniter for the Ferrocerium rod. So I probably will put inside my go bag the little small square one. I'm not sure who actually makes that one. I think there is, if I'm not mistaken, there's a Swedish Army one. And I know with that too as well, I can get, I do believe, kind of a no-name version for less money. But from what I saw, the Ferrocerium rod and the no-name one does light up, throws a spark. Doesn't throw as much spark, probably about 50% less spark than the Swiss Army one or the Swedish Army one, as well as the magnesium doesn't seem to catch as well there too. So they may be using a different alloy. And the other thing I have is this Vega 3.6 inch long 14500 AA flashlight that throws out 650 lumens, as well as it also has 3 modes: a low mode, a medium mode, and a turbo mode, which is the 650 lumens. And it also has a strobe mode too as well. Titanium click on the bottom top here, so it does have, and that's something that I prefer. I like having a little bit of a recessed button on the end cap button. It just seems to, I don't know, I seem to prefer that. I mean, I don't mind the side button ones too as well. I wouldn't mind getting a twist one actually, and not just a twist one where you twist on, twist off, but I've seen that you can get ones that are flashlights that have got the twist, the infinitely variable twist. I gotta find one of those. So if you've had experience with a flashlight, just a small flashlight with the twist, infinitely variable twist on off, send me a link in the bottom, and maybe I will check it out, and that might end up being in my go bag. But I also use this for work all the time, so it has a little lanyard that I ended up getting off of a I don't know where I got this lanyard from, but it just seemed like I hung this around my neck because I was always forever looking inside bolt bins and stuff like that. And a lot of the shops I went to visit was very dark and dingy. And that's what I got this light for, and this lanyard, just to hang around my neck. And it served me extremely well. All right, so let's kind of go over this here a little quick here. And just to show you how that kind of works. Oh, my goodness here. So I just got a kind of a aluminum box, and I hope I don't start nothing on fire, and I'm not going to go too crazy with it. And looks like you've got some decent kind of length here in this little lanyard. And oh, the other thing I did, I'll go over it here, but it looks like all you do is just kind of give it a little bit of a scrape. And what you want to do is you want to gather up this magnesium in a little pile. And even this magnesium will light even when it's wet, which is really, really nice. And but it is susceptible to a little bit of wind, and it is susceptible to blowing away. So, and then what you'll want to do is just use your Ferrocerium rod. And lots of times when you first get these, you'll notice that there's a covering over top of it, and you'll have to strike it a few times for it to get that covering off, and then it starts to light. Now, anything you're going to scrape against that, you can even use like a piece of glass if you want. It doesn't have to be metal, but it has to have a sharp edge. So a lot of you folks out there with the Mora knives, they try to use the back of your spine, the spine of your knife, and if it's not at a 90-degree angle, it will not spark. So let's just see what we've got here. There we go. There we go. And as you can see, it's starting to hit the, there we go. And you can see how it started to, it hit that magnesium, and it lit that magnesium up. You'd want a whole lot more big pile of it. I mean, you've got quite a large magnesium bar here. Now, the other thing that I would do in a situation, a survival situation with this particular one, and why I kind of like this one, is I also put a little hole here. And now what I've used that for is, and I don't have it here, but one of these days I'll bring it in. At my campsite, I ended up making a fire bow, and I thought this would be a perfect block. Lots of times you'll use a you know, like a stone or a different piece of wood, and I decided to try this out as a block, and you know, I carved a little piece in there, and it seems like it worked. You know, it would work really, really fine. Now, if you have the capability or the skill and the way to put it together, if you can use a friction method of starting your fire rather than using your Ferrocerium rod and your magnesium, go ahead and use that. I know that there is a certain thing you want to worry about, you know, calories based upon, you know, work done. So, like, I mean, if you're in a situation where you haven't eaten for a long, long time, you've got something, you caught it, and you want to start a fire, maybe you will use this a little bit, you know, but these stuff here that is perishable, stuff that you use up, if you can save it, you want to save it. But if you're not very well versed on starting a fire, and it'll take you 2 or 3 hours with a using a like a fire drill or anything like that, you'll use up way more energy than what you get cooking your food to eat your food with. So then you kind of turn around and use this. But if you can get away with using this less and less, then use this less and less, use the friction method more. So that's just kind of my little 2 cents on what I think you should do. But now, anyways, the other thing here that I like about this situation here is this little wood handle that you can actually, you know, carve off little pieces of wood to put inside your magnesium to help start your fire with. So lots of times people will use fat wood, and I have used a little bit of this just to try it out to start a fire with, and it worked extremely well. So that's going in the kit. So I think that this is just a little bit too big to kind of put in the kit for now, but it will go in there for now. When I get the other stuff, I will. And this little flashlight too as well. It's a nice size, and with my charger, with my 10,000 milliamp rechargeable battery pack that's in there, if I needed to recharge, because I always carry rechargeable batteries in here no matter what, whether the 14500 or I use rechargeable AA batteries. And so if I need to charge this light up a few times, I can do that. So that's going in there too as well. So now this, like I said, this is 650 lumens. It's got 3 levels, a medium, and then a turbo. And then if you click it 6 times, there, you get yourself a strobe. And that strobe can come in handy, especially if you're spotting a plane, if you're in a survival situation and you want to, you know, message a plane at night, that'll come in handy. And the other thing too as well is if you can, especially on a busy road, sometimes if you're in a blind corner and it's not a situation where you're going to want to save the batteries in there forever, out on the highway, take this, put this on your dash, and it definitely will attract attention from somebody coming down the road so you don't get hit. It's almost like an emergency light. So that's the big thing about the strobe, is I felt it's an emergency spot, and I like the fact with this particular one, because there are flashlights out there that it drives me crazy when you turn on off And then the next one is on, medium, bright, strobe, off. I hate that. This one here is 6 continuous clicks really fast, and then it turns on. So you're not going to turn it on by mistake. So this is, and it's aluminum, it's waterproof, and it's got some ruggedness to it with your little bit of a belt clip too as well. So that's going inside the old go bag. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you saw, please give me the thumbs up, and also, you know, give me a subscription, and don't forget that notification button for when I drop any videos. You'll be the first ones to know. Please stay safe out there. Keep your stick on the ice, the shiny side up. This is the Big Canucker saying adios.